Mount St. Helens and its surrounding land was described as one of the, if not the, most beautiful place in the Northwest. With its pristine lakes, old-growth forest, and incredible mountain peaks, Mount St. Helens was an outdoorsman's paradise. There was a time bomb ticking in paradise. The mountain reached 9,677 feet at its zenith and was a jewel in the Cascade Range. By the spring of 1980, the mountain had really started to rumble, giving clues as to what was to come. On March 27th, the first of several smaller eruptions occurred. The dark ash discolored the pure white snow cover of the mountain slope. The bomb was ticking louder. Over the course of the next 2 months, the mountain was changing and preparing for its big day. 2 small openings appeared at the top of the mountain, which later combined to make one large crater. Steam plumes and small ash clouds continued to appear, but nothing to compare as to what was coming. Earthquakes became more regular. Over 10,000 occurred before the May 18th eruption. The earthquakes caused ice avalanches, and steam vents were becoming more and more visible on the crater's west ridge. As the mountain heated, large visible mud flows would trickle down the mountain slopes and settle in its valleys.
What they do is you get this water from the snow mixing with all that ash that's sitting on the slopes, and it gets really wet, and it comes down as a very muddy, pasty mixture. It comes down pretty fast. I suspect those were 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, something like that.
In early May, the state declared many areas around the mountain closed. They then began to evacuate the residents and timber workers.
Well, yeah, we were going to be leaving anyway.
And are you the last person who left the place?
Nobody left.
While the residents and forest workers were on their way out, there were many who wanted in. Tourists and scientists to record the eruption if and when it came. They were not to be disappointed. Some people didn't believe the mountain was that dangerous and didn't want to leave. Colorful Harry Truman, who lived most of his life on Spirit Lake in the shadow of Mount St. Helens, was the most stubborn.
My mind's more made up as ever. There's nothing wrong with me, and I'm pretty sure there's a damn thing wrong with it, and I'm not leaving here, absolutely not.
For Harry and the mountain, the countdown had quickened. During the mountain's quiet periods, many of the permanent residents wanted access to their homes and belongings. Just one day before the mountain blew, a group of 20 homeowners were allowed in to retrieve valuable items and pets. The mountain was so quiet that day, the plans were made to let another group in the following morning.
There's a possibility that we may be able to repeat this tomorrow.
A trip that would never occur. The sun rose on paradise one last time. According to eyewitness accounts, there was no noise, no wind, and no animal sounds that would normally accompany the morning light. Then, at precisely 8:32 and 11 seconds, Mount St. Helens trembled with a series of earthquakes and exploded.
July 18th, 2 months to the day of the first major eruption, we landed inside the crater. The mission, chip off samples of the lava dome. The landing area was at 6,400 feet above sea level, 3,300 feet lower than the volcano's elevation before it erupted in May. Dr. Irving is an igneous petrologist at the University of Washington. Accompanied by photographer Lorenzo Townsend, the three of us began our ascent of the massive rampart in front of the dome. Large loose rock made the 45-degree angle nearly impossible. At the top, looking in, the lava dome appeared relatively quiet. Its size is deceiving from the air and astonishing from the ground.
It was tough climb. But after we got to the first ridge, it was easier, and going down on the inside part was really quite easy. Much finer material there. There was more sulfur, and it was good to have the oxygen, I think. The edge of the dome is really much higher than you imagine. But the rock samples were easy to get, and I noticed there were some red rocks around, presumably being altered by the steam activity. There was lots of sulfur. I'm coming up!
Going downhill was to be just as difficult as coming up. The distance would be sapping what little energy we had left.
Well, I hope they're representative.
The samples brought out proved to be of great scientific interest. They are now being distributed to various universities and scientific interests throughout the country. The samples are cut up with diamond-tipped saws at the University of Washington. They are reduced to small blocks, then ground down even further until they are only 30 microns thick, as thin as a sheet of paper. The lava dome wafer is then put under a $400,000 electron microprobe, which scans the size of a pinhole. The test results: the lava dome was a hornblende biotite andesite containing plagioclase, hornblende, magnetite crystals, and gas cavities. This kind of rock is an andesite. It was not expected. One with more quartz, a dacite rock, was. Mount St. Helens has a cousin on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. It is more like an identical twin. The volcano Bezimiany erupted in the year 1956 on the Soviet's Kamchatka Peninsula. It has received little publicity because it did not kill anyone and because it is a long way from everything. Like St. Helens, a bulge developed. Like St. Helens, a lateral explosion blew off 2,400 feet of its top. A horseshoe crater formed. Ash fell 350 miles away. In this case, too, day turned into night. The eruptions were preceded by earthquake swarms of similar magnitude. At 25 kilometers out, trees were blown down in a massive blast wave similar to the one May 18th. As with St. Helens, ash covered hundreds of square kilometers in the immediate area, melting snow and causing tremendous mud flows. Its lava dome grew from the base of the crater.
The cleanup that followed took months to complete. Wheat and fruit crops were affected for years following the eruption. The mountain remained extremely active for the rest of 1980. Eruptions became easier to predict, which allowed this eruption on July 22nd to be recorded on time-lapse photography. In the years that followed, the mountain calmed down and began to return, but never to its original splendor. Flowers and undergrowth have come back, as well as the animal life, such as these elk. Lumber companies started planting, and the forests are making a healthy comeback.
Now, more than a decade later, nature is reclaiming the area it once destroyed. Life is slowly returning to Mount St. Helens, and in the midst of this evolving landscape sits the new Visitor Center at Coldwater Ridge.
The whole purpose of being here is to provide a place where people can get a great view of the mountain, as you see here on a lovely day like this, and to see up close the effects of the eruption from 1980. I think this place is very special, and that's not just because I work here. It's a wonderful place, I think, to visit, to come and enjoy yourself. But I think what we're very interested in here is providing both the opportunity to come and enjoy and relax, but also to learn.
Among the hummocks, wetlands now flourish, active and teeming with life.
A 16-screen video presentation, interactive exhibits,
Fish are up to 27 inches long.
and forest interpreters are all part of the learning process inside the Visitor Center.
An enormous mass of rock, snow, and ice collapsed, avalanching down the mountain.
On the ground, getting both food and moisture from your prey. The venom in your fangs quickly subdues the insects and spiders you eat.
Outside, the interpretive trails allow visitors a chance to view the landscape and its inhabitants close up.
And if you look out actually along from the top of the center, it's easier. But you can kind of see the chunk of debris in the center there.
Yeah.
Scan around in that area, and there's actually some old logging equipment that's in there. If you scan along the upper road, you're going to see like a red glob, and that's an old pickup truck that's up there.
I'll be darned.
And you can see this, on the back of the tree there's limbs left, and there's actually in places there's actually bark left, and that's where that side was actually protected by the front half of the tree. And insects and different things that were underneath that bark were able to survive the blast, whereas anything on this side of the tree was basically destroyed.
A visit to Mount St. Helens offers a unique experience, one filled with an inspiring view of Mother Nature's awesome cycle at her worst and at her best.
57 people lost their lives, with over 200 trapped for days, covered in ash without food. 4 billion board feet of lumber was destroyed with ash, being traced as far away as Maine and eastern Canada. As for Harry Truman, he was buried under 300 feet of ash and will remain with his mountain.
I lived up there 50 years. I had some people used to ask me why the hell I stay there and what am I doing up there. That's my life. Spirit Lake and Mount St. Helens is my life, folks. I've lived there 50 years. It's a part of me. That mountain and that lake is a part of Truman, and I'm a part of it.
But no one who is near the mountain will ever forget where they were and what occurred on the morning the mountain blew.